Hello traders, it is Friday morning and it is 8:18 a.m. Pacific time, 10:18 Central, and just a little while ago earlier this morning I had closed out that trade overnight, and actually so I closed the trade down here when I saw this bar right here, this candle formed, and I closed the trade, waited about 10 minutes, decided that everything looked like this was the end of the C wave, so I went long, and it was. And I'll be honest with you, catching that close to the end of the correction is not an easy thing to do. I don't do it very often, but when everything reads just right, it works, and it's kind of fun to do. So anyway, I went long at 3.5 hours ago, just before 5 o'clock my time, with my 8th trade of the week. And if what I'm thinking it's doing is it's doing, then I'm going to stay with it for a while. Because if we look at the 1 hour chart here, actually here's the little bit longer term. Here's my 6 hour. Here was what I thought was the end of the trend, and why last night I went to bed and made that 9.5 points while I was sleeping. Because I came up here, wave 3, 4, 5, and then it did an ABC. And so from here, I think it's heading up again. But one thing that could be, that could probably maybe throw that, is the fact that this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of wave 3. Sometimes it's hard to differentiate between the full wave 3 and the full trend, and it's still going up before it corrects. But anyway, it's Friday. I've got my, in fact, I'm going to put my stop up here to break even, or just a little above break. In fact, let's put it below this pivot right there. So worst case scenario, if this market just tanks for some weird reason, I'll pick 125, 1.25 points out of it. So otherwise, we're going to let it run. I will maybe, if it continues to go, it'll be towards the end of the trading session, end of the week, when I close this. And then I'll do a summary of how the week went. It's been a great week, so I will talk to you soon. Hello traders, this is Barry again, and it's just a little bit after I went long this morning on what I thought was the end of this C wave. It's now 9:40 a.m. Friday. Of course, things are going to be slowing down a little bit. And when I look at the action of this, of what's going on here, it's either just going slow or it's doing something else. And I'll talk about that here in just a second. I'm just going to close my trade out. I got 9 points on this one, so that's a good trade. But to do a little analysis here, again, we're working on big picture always wins. Big picture takes precedent over everything. Get that out of the way. And I'm still working on this being the large ABC from the top, and then a 1, a 2, going up to 3. As far as what this wave is doing, now that we're at the end of this trend, I was looking at, and I've been trading on the fact that it did a top of the trend here, 3, 4, 5, and then an ABC, and now it's heading up. But with this action, the action that I'm seeing here, and not very impulsive and just having a hard time to get up there, one of two things is happening. The market's just exhausted, whatever that means. You know how we try to personify the market. You can use the term exhausted, or just worn out, or they're not going to do anything for the rest of the day, since we've got 5 hours till the close for the week. But the other alternative is, this is just, when we get to the top of this on the 1 hour chart, this is just in a distorted A. You can have a 3-wave A, a 3-wave B, and a 5-wave C typically. A lot of times the A wave is a 5-wave trend. It's really clear. But this one, if this is a distorted A, then instead of, on my short term, this being ABC, we're actually looking at this is an A, this is a B, and now it's heading down to C. And with the size of this turn here on the 6 hour chart, the fact that it pushed up 133 points, had that strong day on Wednesday from the Fed chairman's speech, the FOMC minutes yesterday. It very well could be that this just needs to correct more. If that's the case, then this will probably head down to an A, B, and then actually down here to a C, somewhere down by the point, the extent of the wave 4, or it might keep heading up. So I'm watching it. I like to trade. I like to trade when I see clarity, and I'm really thinking that this thing is probably going down, and it's probably going to do, this A belongs here, the B is up here, and I think it's working its way down to C. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to just pause the video. If price goes below this low right here, this last swing, then it's probably going to be pretty good confirmation to me that this really is the A, the B, and now it's going down to C. So I'm thinking that that's what I'm going to do, is probably go short for a few hours and see if I can pick up a few more points before the close of the day. 1, 2, 3. So in fact, I'm tempted to just go short now because of the weakness in this thing. But I will wait. I'll wait a few minutes, put it on pause, and if I get a little impulsive move heading down, looking weak, then we'll go short. Otherwise, that's it for the week. So I'll be right back with you in a little bit, probably. All right, looking at this market now. If this is impulsive enough where I think we're heading down, so I am going to go short here, see what we get for the rest of the afternoon. I think what we're looking at, like I said, is actually on this correction. I think this is clearer, and sometimes you just let the market form until it gives you some clarity. And I can always be wrong. That's what stop losses are for. I'm going to come back up here just to maybe 47. Let's see where that puts me. Oh, try that again, Barry. Let's go to 47 here. Yeah, if it pivots back up to here, then I just called it wrong. Right now I'm thinking instead of this being an ABC, it's actually an elongated A. The B is ABC, of course, and then it's working its way down to C, which on my 1 hour chart would be A, B, and somewhere down here to C. So it's possible that's what it's doing. If not, I'll get stopped out, and that'll be the end of my Friday. And I won't worry about going long because it's getting along in the day. So I'll get back with you here in a little bit as soon as we figure out what this thing is doing. Right now it is 9:45 a.m. my time, Friday. So we have, what, a little over 4 hours before the market closes for the week.